Valentine's Day, 2006, I placed my 17-year-old son on a bus for Fort Benning, Georgia to start boot camp. September 7th, 2007, I put my 19-year-old son on a bus for Iraq. June 4th, 2008, my son's unit was attacked on a mission, and his best friend was killed, and 2 others in his unit. My son was just 2 weeks after his 20th birthday. 4 months later, I met him as he returned home from Iraq, and he wasn't the same. He wasn't the boy that I kissed goodbye and held in my arms just 13 months prior. He was cold and distant, agitated, angry. He didn't like to be around a lot of people, crowds, public places. When we went out, he would have to sit with his back to the wall, facing windows, facing doors. He was always on alert, watching people's hands and people carrying packages. He shuddered at any sudden movements. I remember we had to go to Walmart, and a little boy was playing with a shopping cart, and he stepped on it and it slammed down and crashed. And my son and his friend that was with him came apart and they almost hit the floor. And that was horrifying to watch your son react to such a common noise. And there's nothing you can do to help him. I offered my support. I told him I would always be there for him and that I would always love him no matter what he had to tell me, and that I would never pretend to know what he went through. And a couple years ago, he called and told me that these 3 guys from Hollywood wanted to talk to him about his tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I knew he was skeptical and it was going to be difficult. I offered to go with him, and he said it was something he needed to do on his own. So I supported that and told him that I would be by my phone if he needed to talk. I talked to Stephen a few months ago, and Stephen had told me about the moment when Nick suddenly opened up and revealed some of the most deepest, intimate details of the demons that have been haunting him for the past few years. It was that day that started the healing process for my son. And what those 3 guys did in one day, in one afternoon, to earn the respect and trust of my son enough for him to reveal that, something that I was never able to do as his mother, is simply amazing. And they saved my son's life, and they brought him back to me. For that, I will forever, until my dying breath, be indebted to them. And they will always be part of my family. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for them. PTSD, for those who suffer with it and live with it, don't want to talk about it. For those who don't, they don't want to hear about it. Thunder Road is a story that needs to be told. It needs to be heard. Because what these 3 guys did in one day, in one afternoon, that changed my son's life, I can only imagine could do to thousands